you could cut the tension, like, and I'm like, there baby, like that. But nobody likes to be rejected. I kind of did feel a way. I'm not gonna lie, I did feel a little way when I see the email come in. And say something, mommy.
Indeed.
Hi guys, good morning. So I have 2 interviews today. So put on my face mask because I need to get ready, look my best self. So I hope this will give me the glow that I want for my day. And I like to open my back door in the morning, so but I don't know, it's just relaxing to me sometimes, and I like nature. So I need to do my hair and everything, if this I gotta do how I want it to do. But I'm gonna get ready and I'll see you guys. Hey guys, it's your girl VJ, and this week I'm back to talk to you about job interviews. So I've been off for a few weeks, just 2 weeks. Hope you didn't miss me too much. Please check my videos. I'll place the links in the description below. So, heights of COVID, I decided to send some applications out. I was still in France at the time. I wasn't even sure if I would get back to Jamaica, but I still did all that I needed to just in case. Fast forward a few months later, I got to Jamaica and I got called for some interviews. At one point I was like, nobody not call me, because I couldn't understand, and I was starting to think, so me one of them person there, me not gonna have no job, I need to have some money for myself, all of those things I was thinking. And they took forever to call me, until one week they finally did, and I was beside myself because me get a call. So if I got a call, it means that I would have been selected to do an interview. Interview 1. So I got to the location at around 8:30 and I didn't get through until after 11, guys. First of all, they told me that interview was at 9:45. I got there from 8:30. When I got there, I saw 4 persons. I was waiting and I was waiting and I was waiting. I got impatient. I was extremely hot, and like at one point I was like, you sure you want to work here? And he's like, just this will take too long. And eventually they called me in and I went in and I said good morning. And one of the tips is that never sit unless they offer you your seat. And so I waited for that to happen, then I sat. First off, everyone had on masks, and that kind of took away from the interaction because all I was seeing were the eyes, and I couldn't deduce much from the facial expressions that were lacking. And I felt it was too tense, like literally if you had a scissors, you could cut the tension, like. So that was that. I didn't enjoy that interview too much. I mean, I answered the questions and I even felt myself getting nervous. That's how tense it was in there, because I don't get nervous for stuff like that. I mean, once I get in, I know that it's time to shine, girl. I need this go time. Bye bye nerves, bye bye anxiety, and just get the job done. So I was like, so my voice I crack up, and like, they were just looking at me. Everybody was looking at me. First there was this lady like right in front of me, and like big strapped in, and she was looking at me. And like me in my little seat like this, that's how I felt. And long story short, I did the interview and I left. Now from my left, I wanted a job, yes, but I wasn't really interested in working there per se, because I think the interview has a lot to do with what will happen having got the job, and for me I didn't get that kind of vibe from it. Job interview 2. So after I did that interview, I headed on over to another institution to get another interview done. So that was 2 interviews in one day. So after waiting all morning for an interview, finally doing the interview, I had to go to another interview. So at that point, having finished the first interview, heading on to another interview, I just really wanted to get home and take off my clothes, have a shower, and just relax, because of how the wait was so long. No, I did that interview. We did it online, virtually, and it was good. So I liked it because I felt some form of connection between myself and the panel. They asked me some questions, and I think those questions were really constructive. So some of the questions they asked me were like, did you do a research during college? What was that research like, and why did you do it? they asked me, you know, what are 3 qualities, what are your 3 strengths, what are your 3 weaknesses, what could you contribute to this institution, why should we hire you? A lot of questions along that line. And I think, I don't remember all the questions, but I think the questions asked were really constructive questions. They allowed me to think, and I was able to get a glimpse of, you know, who they're looking for or what they're looking for. And I got a chance to speak French and Spanish, so French is no problem for me. So now them gonna ask me something in Spanish. So the thing about me and Spanish now is that I can understand it, but to talk to a certain level is gonna be hard because I'm hearing the French words, and it's a lot of brain power. Like my head all start hurt me when I respond. Then, you know, I just humbled myself, and humility is a good quality, guys. Humbled myself, and I said, may I answer? So I started answering in Spanish, but I couldn't answer effectively as I knew was expected. So I asked to respond in English, and that was that. Interview number 3. So this was within the same week, and I wasn't nervous because I would have already done 2 interviews, and one was less interactive, or I didn't get that kind of vibe from one, whilst the other, it was a pretty good interview. So I had some ideas of how to prepare for the interview, because like I didn't even prepare. Can you imagine that? Going for a job interview with no preparation. Anyway, those 2 prepared me for this last interview, and that's where all the magic happened. So now, of course, you know, say, yeah, you can do good and everything, but that doesn't mean that you got the job, right? So I did that interview. First of all, I was waiting, so I heard someone in the office talking, so I'm like, so why is she talk so loud? And then I realized that she was teaching, so I'm like, wow. Anywho, after she came out, they came to me and they gave me a piece of paper, and they say I should plan a lesson. So I'm like, okay, plan a lesson. What are we gonna do, Gervanese? So I planned my lesson and I went in. Now, when I went in, it's as if they forgot that they had asked me to plan a lesson. Well, so I thought, because we were talking, everything was good, and I so enjoyed it. I mean, we didn't have our, well, I had to take my mask off. We were social distance, and we interacted, you know, laughed, and it was just really cool. Like, if you could use an interview to say that someone got the job, I would say that was the interview for me. Anyway, we're talking, and I almost forgot about the lesson plan, so I was like, thank God, cause whoa. Anyways, before the interview finished, they were like, so you know, you can't come to our institution and not and teach our students first without teaching us. So I'm like, wow, because I thought they forgot. So I had to teach, and it was so cool because they started to act as the students, and you know how students are. So one of the panelists, they were like, so why we have to learn French, miss? Why the whole world could speak English? And I'm like, they're behaving like that, but I didn't expect it, and they were so natural. You know persons who they have a particular title and them going away. It wasn't that case. They were just being themselves, and ultimately it was a good interview. And yeah, so on to some more tips. Number 1, so as a teacher or applying for a job as a teacher, you need to know a few things. One of those things is the policy. So what policies have been implemented by the Ministry of Education. You need to be familiar with the Regulations Act, the Child Care and Protection Act. Institutions want to know that you'll at least be working with them for at least 5 years. So you want to have in your mind how long you're willing to stay within an institution. But you need to be completely honest. And so they want to know that. They want to know what can you contribute to the school. But I mean general things in an interview for a teacher, but you do need to know the policies that the ministry has implemented, as well as the Regulations Act, the Child Care and Protection Act. Tips for other individuals who aren't necessarily teachers. 1, you want to dress comfortably. The first 2 interviews that I did, I was a bit hot because I waited for so long. So you want to wear something that's cotton material, like not necessarily a jacket, but something that will keep you comfortable. So wear something comfortable. You know, if you're not a heels person, go with the flats, and wear colors that will, you know, get like a boost. Because I wore a yellow jacket, which meant that I was bold. I wore a cheetah blouse, which meant that I was fierce, and a blue skirt, royal blue skirt that represented, you know, royalty. So when I'm wearing such colors, I don't have to feed the negative energy that I may or may not be feeling. I will now be able to channel what I'm wearing. And so yeah, that's also the one to wear. The third interview that I did, I actually wore a black dress and a red jacket, you know, I had on a little necklace, and you know, black is classy, you can never go wrong. And yeah, so I felt nice, and once you feel good, the interview done shell. So once you know what you're to do, once you feel good, then yeah, never be afraid to show you. What it comes down to is persons appreciating you for who you are. So you're not going into an interview to impress anybody. You're going, yes you are in some way, but you're going into the interview to be yourself, hoping that what you have to offer, who you are, is something that they are willing to accept. If not, then you just go look another job, you just go do another interview. What is out there for you is definitely waiting. So don't stop trying. All in all, I'm just happy that I was able to do the interview. Okay guys, so I did the interviews, I waited, and I got some calls. So first off, should I say? So I got a call from one of the institutions. You know, they were asking if I would take the job. So I said yes. It all depends on which school reaches out to me first, because you know, a lot of times I've heard is that they take forever to reach out to you after you do the interview, and that leaves you wondering, you know, am I gonna get a job? And it also impacts your next move. And so, you know, you just have to have your eggs in more than one basket, because you never know what will or will not happen. So one of my friends who was at the interview, he asked me if I got a response. I was like, no. And that was like a week after. So that was a week after. So I checked my email, and this is what they said. They said, unfortunately, you do not meet the requirements of what we're looking for. And I'm like, because your girl has a lot to offer. I didn't necessarily want to work at that school after having done the interview. I just wasn't feeling it. So when I saw that, you know, I was like, okay, yeah, nobody likes to be rejected. I kind of did feel that way. I did feel a little way when I see the email come in. So I'm like, okay. But you know, from your rejections, something new will birth itself. So you don't need to be all sad and gloomy. If somebody rejects you, I feel them problem that. Anyway, their loss, not mine. Second interview, they asked me if I was serious about taking the job opportunity. So I said, whichever school reaches out to me first, that's the school I'm a roll with. I ended up being shortlisted for that opportunity. And the final interview that I did, so they asked me, you know, do I have any other offers? So I was like, yes, I do. And they said that they would reach back out to me, you know, let me know what's what. Anyways, I'm like, okay. And it was nice meeting you, because I enjoyed that interview. It wasn't even like an interview, guys. I felt like I was talking to some friends. Then I left and I was on my way back home. So I was like, you know, my mama is talking, you know, if this is what God wants for you, then that's what will happen. And you know, I always believe that what's for me will happen. And yeah, so I'm never in the worrying thing, not again. Then I got a call, and she was like, hello, Miss Johnson. So I'm like, hello. And she said, I'm just calling to let you know that you have been selected for this position. So I was like, thank you. And she, you know, she told me some other things, and I hung up the phone. And I was, so yeah, I got the job. I'm so happy that I got the job, and I'm looking forward to working. Also, there was no greater feeling than hearing my parents being so happy. And my mom is in the room, you know, but you can't, she's not fit for the camera at this moment. So, but they were so elated. They were elated that I got the job. And say something, mommy.
Indeed.
and my dad, he was beside himself. Like, he's not that emotional, but you know, when he's happy or whatever, you'll definitely hear it. And I was just so happy that, you know, everything worked out. It's the start of a new journey, and I'm nervous. I'm a bit nervous, but I know some I can do it. Like I've done a lot, and I know that.
She's walking in my footsteps. I am one of the best teachers of Spanish. She's my opposite. The best teacher of French she will be, because she's gonna walk in her mother's footsteps. A very ardent, committed teacher for over 30 years. Still love the language. Step.
Alright, mommy.
Thanks be to God.
So yes, guys, featuring Musicien. So hey guys, so I just handed off my documents, and yeah, you're gonna be working in September, well October, but I'm super excited. I'm a bit nervous. That's the backdrop. So fingers crossed. I know I can do it though. So yeah, your favorite French teacher. Thank you guys so much for tuning in with me, Gervie J, about interviews. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to subscribe, and comment. I'd love to interact with you guys. I've been talking to a lot of you in my previous videos, and I'm enjoying the comments, and drop your comments, and yeah, let's get to 130.